friends, welcome to my YouTube channel EduVenture SG. So today we are going to solve another interesting word problem on whole numbers. So let's start with reading the question first. Mr. Lee bought 2 identical files and 4 identical books. He found that 3 such files and 5 such books cost $11 more. If each file cost 5 less than each book, find the cost of one file. So Mr. Lee went to a bookshop or maybe a stationery shop as well. So there he found that he bought 2 identical files and 4 identical books. Uh, he bought 2 identical files and 4 identical books, and then he found that 3 such files and 5 such books cost $11 more. So what information do we have here? Let's start writing it. So it's 2 files plus 4 books cost him some money. We don't know how much. Okay, we don't know how much he paid for 2 files and 4 books. So let's say it's some dollars. We don't know how much. Okay, then later he found that if he would have bought, in place of 2 files, 3 files, and in place of 4 books, 5 books, he would have to pay $11 more. How much more? $11 more. That means whatever he paid, since he has paid dollars, that's dollars, this many dollars for 2 files and 4 books. Let's say for 3 files and 5 books, he would have to pay this amount plus another $11. Okay, because why? Because it said here that he found that 3 such files and 5 such books cost $11 more. So whatever he paid for 2 files and 4 books, he has to pay $11 more if he buys 3 files and 5 books. Now, since we have formed the equation, if you observe it carefully, see what's the change here. See, from here, from the first equation to the second one, what is the change in the number of files? Here it's 2, here is 3. That means there is a change of 1 file. Right, 1 file. How about this? See, here it's 4 books and the next one it's 5 books. So again the change is of 1 book, right? 1 book. Okay, and then what's the change here? For 2 files, 4 books, the cost was dollar, some value, and for 3 files and 5 books is dollar plus 11. So what's the change? It's $11, right? $11. So what do we see? That if he would have bought 1 extra file and 1 extra book, he would need to pay $11 more. What does this mean? It means that the cost of 1 file and 1 book is $11, right? Because it simply shows, it's clearly shown here, right? It clearly shows us that the cost of 1 file, see, if he just adds 1 more file and if he just add 1 more book, right, he has to pay $11 extra. That means what? The cost of 1 file and 1 book is 11, right? So this is the information we got from the first 2 equation, these 2. Okay, now what else do we have? See, if each file costs $5 less than each book, okay, means which costs more? Which costs more? The book costs more, right? In other words, the book cost $5 more than the file, right? It's the same meaning, right? So the book cost, and now we have 2 things only, right? The book and the file. So now we are interested only in 1 book and 1 file. Okay, so let's say this is the cost of my book, so the file has to be 5 less. So let's draw that as well quickly. So let's say this is my files, right? It should be, and let's say the total is how much? 11. We know that 1 book, 1 file. Okay, 1 book, 1 file, the total cost is 11. right? And also know that the cost of one file is 5 less, okay, 5 less than one book, right? 5 less than one book. So let's say the cost of one file is 1 unit, then what would be the cost of the one book? It will be 1 unit plus another 5. We can see it from the model, right? So the cost of one file is 1 unit and the cost of one book is 1 unit plus 5. Now, how do we get the cost of one file? That means we have to find how much is 1 unit, right? How much is 1 unit? So first thing we can do is just subtract this extra 5 thing, right? This extra 5 from 11. So what do we get? We will be left only with these 2 units, right? If we just subtract this extra 5 from 11, we will be left only with this 2 unit. So we can say 2 units will be equal to 11 minus 5. That means 2 units will be equal to 6. That also means 1 unit will be 6 divided by 2. That will give us 1 unit is equal to 3. That's it. Bingo. That's our answer. So we know that the cost of one file is 1 unit. We already got 1 unit. That is 3. So we can write our answer. Right? What's the answer? We have to, what's the question? The question is find the cost of one file. That is 1 unit. So 1 unit is $3. So we can write our answer quickly. Okay. The cost of one file would be how much? The cost of one file is $3. Okay, if the question would have been like what's the cost of one book, of course it's 3 plus 5 8, right? 3 plus 5 8. So let's say they might have complicated the question and would have asked how much Mr. Lee paid for 2 identical files and 4 books. That's also easy, right? So one file is $3, 2 files will be 2 times 3 6, and since the cost of one book will be 3 plus 5 8, 4 books will be 4 times 8 32, right? So 32 plus 6 will give you 28, right? So it's a very easy calculation. You can do it. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed the solution. Please don't forget to subscribe the channel. Keep watching. Thank you.